I'm Daryl.
I'm Rob.
And we are your hosts for the Concerned Citizens podcast. Just recently, we had a chance to do our first video sessions for the show, and we did it with Terry from Alien Ant Farm. He was an amazing dude and gave us a lot of great things to talk about. And what do you think, Rob? Did it go well?
Yeah, he had some killer stories, and I really feel like we got the best out of him. He's just a killer person to interview. So.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I hope you guys feel the same. We look to do a lot more of these, so please enjoy our interview with Terry from Alien Ant Farm. Thanks, guys. Welcome, everybody. It is a delight. We're over at the Blind Tiger for our first live, semi-live video sessions.
Live enough.
Yeah, live enough, damn it. So, and man, Terry, thanks so much for being here, dude.
My pleasure.
Really
guys.
cool to see you.
Awesome. I'm
Welcome
glad
back.
that all the everything.
Well, you
is
walked in
right.
and you seemed really happy that it was green, and
actually
it's
green.
It's like avocado.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
asked them to repaint it because it wasn't green, and we
We knew you guys would have a little. We read some stuff about you guys with like
Avocado
anger
is
and
extremely relaxing to me, so this is
soothes
perfect.
everything,
Yeah.
so-
so we went for it, dude, for sure.
Joe, of course, here at Blind Tiger was really sweet to help us get connected and have you come out, man. We ran into you at Jake's a little bit ago,
Yeah.
having a brew. So, dude, how's everything been, man? Talk me through like how long it's been. If I can first say, I'm from Connecticut. Saw you guys back in like '01
Okay.
at the Webster Theater in Hartford with
Right.
Apex Theory and Glassjaw.
Oh, okay. Snowcore tour.
Yes. Oh my god, dude. Blown away.
God,
it was
so much fun.
Dude, like it was everything to me. Just want to put that in there as a fanboy, professional face on. Talk to me, dude. How's everything been? What's been going on?
So much. I mean, I wish I could say it was all good.
Really?
But I mean, we've been through a lot, and I mean, since then, that's way back.
Yeah, of course.
Like 2001, we went through, so many more tours since then.
Of course.
But then, we hit a spot where, we had that big bus wreck.
Of course, that's
And people got fucked up, and I can cuss obviously on this. So, people got fucked up, and including Dryden really bad. But I mean, it was a year later we were into the studio making Anthology with the DeLeo brothers, and it was just kind of a weird situation from that point on. Like, we went and made this record full force. We were like, oh fuck, we're gonna take the bull by the horns. So what?
Yeah.
We had this tragedy. Like, we're back. Like, a year later. That's pretty goddamn good. But we made this great record, and then we went out and started touring on it, and we didn't know that the record label was kind of like infrastructurally collapsing,
Really?
and they closed their doors, and the record didn't get the love that it could have got, or whatever, or the Anthology got, or whatever, and that was kind of like
Straw.
that was the black clouds rolling in
Yeah.
at that point. You know what I mean? It was just like and I think it wasn't too long after that I left the band for almost 5 years, and I think at some point in time Ty left the band for a couple of years, and flash forward, me and Mike run into each other at a bar and get to talking, and
That's exactly what we wanted to know.
We're literally leaving a bar. We're like, I wonder how did it
Well,
do?
it's
Like,
funny.
what did it do? Like, what brought the band back together?
It's funny actually, because it's a bar that it was kind of popular at this particular moment in time, and me and Mike would always end up there, and we hated each other for a minute. We all fucking hated each other for a minute. It's just brothers.
Yeah,
It's
it's
brothers. It's
man.
family
Of course,
crap.
it's family, man. Yeah,
Family
of course.
crap. Here we are today. So,
Yeah, exactly.
not to spoil it all, but
Spoiler alert.
we're at this bar that we're always at in town, and we'd see probably 3, maybe 4 times before this particular meeting. We had seen each other. I'd glance across the bar, and there'd be Mike, and he'd look over and see me, and it would literally be I don't know how to translate it on a podcast, but
Just the respect nod.
we'd look at each other and just
Yeah.
and then turn,
Yeah.
give the little head up nod,
Yeah.
and then we turn in opposite directions and just go
And
about
just
our business.
go
Yeah.
away.
But
Because
this one particular time he approached me, and you know, there was the whole thing of like maybe some more money being left on the table that we needed to go, and like fans kind of wanting it, and there was some international things that were like kind of like being offered.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome.
And it was just cosmically right.
Right.
And what about,
We talked and
Yeah.
About what time was this? Like 2000, you know?
God, this
Yeah, when
had to
did you
be
guys-
like this had to be like
when did
like
the-
06 or 07.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. Sorry, maybe like 07, 08.
Okay.
It was right around then. Because it was like 09, 010 that we like started going, okay, we're going to
Let's do this.
try and make a record
Yeah.
again, you know?
So did you have the idea for the record first, or was it like, hey, let's just tour, see what things happen?
It was the tour
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
We wanted
Get
to
on
like
the road
do some
and see how it felt,
shows,
you know what I mean?
take advantage of some offers.
Of course.
And just get out there and play on stage
Yeah.
again. And you know, it's funny, like the whole brothers and family thing again. We didn't miss a beat, man. We got in the same
Yeah, for
room,
sure. Right
and all
in the
that
mic.
Yeah.
telepathy was back. All the like knowing how to play off of each other.
Yeah, chemistry.
We've been a band since we were kids, you know. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, dude, that's like everything right there. I mean, like that doesn't go anywhere, you know. Like you said, you see, you know, your bandmate at the bar. It's like I don't want to get people to get the wrong idea. Like, oh, I hated that dude for a while. It's like, no, you just.
It was just-
you've been
Yeah.
together for years. You don't necessarily need to every time you see them be like, hey, how are you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
life, you know, it's
Well,
it's a
and-
healthy thing, sort of.
yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't like I hate you. Like
Right.
it was just like, man, like this is kind of like represents a real shitty time right now
Yeah.
still, and it hasn't like fizzled out, but it did, and you know we bridged it.
Well, that's awesome, dude.
And this is the proof of it. And you got a new album out.
Yeah.
When it was on Spotify, I was in the kitchen, dude, just cooking and having a cigarette, and like everybody came in, and I put it on, and we're just listening to it. You know how many bands are coming back around, doing stuff and whatever, and I've been listening to some of the new stuff that bands have been putting out, and it seems like they'll just go a certain route, like, okay, like, you know, we got a bunch of money thrown at us, we're gonna just do this cookie cutter crap, and just kind of, you guys, like, it, through the album, it shows that you guys walked right in and just picked the instruments up and, like, got right back to work, and it's amazing. I love it, and I can't wait to hear you guys play tonight.
That's cool, man. Thank you. I mean, it really was a super organic, natural thing. Like, I mean, I had like some riffs from that were like kind of just kicking around, like
Yeah.
shit that I was like that I had written when I was out of the band, and like maybe even presented it to some side projects
Just-
that I was
yeah.
involved with, but like it never really clicked because it was shit that I kind of was just like doing naturally. I was writing for Ant Farm,
Right,
like whether I knew it or not.
Yeah.
And then you know, when we finally went down and like we were like, okay, we got like this Japan trip coming up, like let's get together and start playing, and like I was just like, you know, we were kind of just playing, you know, and
Yeah.
we jam, like it was very like,
Organic, for sure.
well, just right where we left off.
you able to jam at a house,
Like there was
guys?
no real gap. Like all of a sudden we were kids jamming at one
Yeah.
time, and then all of a sudden there was a gap, and now we were back together jamming and playing all the old songs that we love to jam, and like cover songs, you
Of
know,
course,
that we just played like
fooling around
coming
just to
up.
feel it, yeah.
And I threw out a riff and like Ty caught onto it or whatever at the time. Mike put a beat, and like all of a sudden we were off on a new song, you know, and a couple of those like actually made the record, you know,
Yeah.
like Dirty Bomb. I think
Hell yeah.
it was either Dirty Bomb or it was Godlike. I think it was Godlike.
Okay.
Godlike was, I think, the first one that we started kind of clicking on.
Yeah.
And like it turned into a song.
That's
and then
awesome.
Dirty Bomb came like right after.
Did you
I
guys-
had like all the bass riff and everything for Dirty Bomb for like a year or some shit. And then when I dropped it on those guys, it made sense.
Yeah, it
It
just
sounded
it's
like a
that's
song.
what I wrote.
All of a
Yeah.
sudden, it sounded like
Yeah,
a
it
song.
just came
like,
together.
The
Yeah.
components in the earlier shit that I introduced it to,
Yeah.
the components weren't right, and and there's a whole crazy reason for that.
Did you guys have a spot? Like, was it just a studio? Do you guys have a place?
We practice normally we practice in Mike's basement. Where Mike lives in Riverside. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And it's his live room because he has a home studio. It's like his live room, so we just jam down there.
Home studio.
We've been doing that for years now.
Yeah, man, that's great.
And that's where our trailer lives and all that shit. So all our gear is always there. Yeah, it's headquarters.
Dude, tell me about the label stuff, man, because you guys have been around a minute, a couple different albums. Have you gone through a few different labels, and are you happy where you're at now? Like, what are you guys feeling?
You know, I can't answer that like I want to.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Actually, no.
We can do a couple different takes.
We've been through the gamut, you know.
Yeah. Were you on Universal? Like, when it started?
Yeah. I mean, originally it was, you know, we were signed to DreamWorks under El Tonal, which became, or it was New Noise originally, Papa Roach's label, their imprint, and they sucked us up. And that became El Tonal, and that was DreamWorks is where we did all the anthology shit, and Truant like kind of went under that.
Yeah.
And then they were the closing that I mentioned before. They kind of closed down like very abruptly, and you know, their entire catalog got like all their bands, their roster just got like shuffled into the Universal group, which was A&M, Geffen, Interscope. Yeah. So all the bands just went whoosh to all the different labels, and that was right when I quit the band. So from what I understand, the band went to Geffen, and then Geffen kind of released the record to Universal, which in turn Universal put it out on one of their smaller imprints.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that happened, and that was kind of left open-ended into, like, the void. And when I came back, you know, we were basically label-less. And
was that scary at all? Or
no, not
or was
really.
it, like, free almost in a way? Like, you guys
it is a
together
freedom.
and you're
there's
just,
a certain,
like a certain amount of it there?
There's a certain respect and freedom to that. Like, it was kind of cool to be, like, kind of... You know, like, all right, like, we're looking forward now. Like, we can look at what we want to achieve and what we want to, like, if we want to obtain a label deal, like, we can move forward towards that. You know what I mean?
Hands, pretty much, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And it was probably the freest we'd felt like that in a while. And then ultimately we ended up in a situation with a label that was kind of, you know, like... it wasn't the greatest fit for us. And that was pretty much the duration of all this, like, fucking drawn out big fat baby to push out fucking of a record.
Yeah.
You know, being always and forever. And it just like turned into hurdle after hurdle with this label. They turned out to be like a lot of shit that was promised and never delivered on, or just like shit that, you know, it just didn't work out. That label actually got kind of picked up by the End Records out of Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
And that's when shit actually kind of got back on track and started flowing, and then now we have a record finally. So.
Well, that was kind of the question we had, is how you ended up on your label now, but I pretty much covered that. What have you been doing? You said you left the band for 5 years. Outside of Alien Ant Farm, like, if you had to describe yourself to someone without saying anything about Alien Ant Farm, what do you do? I mean, how do you fill that void of time? Well,
I took advantage of jamming with the dude I met in Brooklyn like a long time ago, named Aaron Wilson, and me and him kind of had like a side project going for a while called Ghost in the Flesh, and I don't know what our aspirations were, but other than like just playing the music that we kind of really clicked together on.
Yeah.
So I mean, I did that for a while. I did some like hired gun touring. With Power Man 5000 for like a couple of years, which was fun. I made some great friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know,
it's always fun just to like be a plug-in and not have too much responsibility.
And it was such a different animal than I was used to.
Right, a different beast altogether.
Yeah.
So.
I loved it. It was great. Spider's still a great friend. Like he really taught me a lot about being like a great front man and stuff like that, and what it takes, and just like a good businessman at the same time. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty much what I did when I was at a ant farm. You know, it wasn't till later I started getting into other shit, but ant farm, like when we were like kind of, we went and played Nebworth with Metallica for the Sonosphere Festival. Like we went out there and played that, and that was kind of like the definitive moment where we were like, hey, we got to make another record. And since that moment, like, we've been working on this damn record for that long, you know, for years and years and years. Like you hear the songs like Dirty Bomb and like God, like those are from like, you know, 4 years ago. And then like the rest of the songs are just a progression over the last like, you know, handful of years. And so to us, it's this crazy drug out thing, you know. It's rad to be able to drop it in front of people and go, okay, here's everything. You know, and they can just listen to it at once, and it's like what's been waited for, or like, you know,
but they have no idea.
They have no idea.
Yeah,
like
at the same time, they just think you guys wrapped it up. And
we drugged this thing across battlefields. And it was tough, man. It really like put us to the test, you know, and you know, we all had like whatever, kids being born or like medical issues and like all this crap going on, you know, throughout that much time. It just all kind of like turns into one big heaping trash heap.
Just hearing that, it's definitely like, as a listener, that makes the experience of listening to the album better. You know what I mean? Knowing
Well, that's cool.
This wasn't easy.
I'm stoked you guys dig it.
Oh, man.
For sure. I mean, I think it rides that perfect line. Like, it's not a huge departure from what you've done before, but it's still so fresh, I think. You know what I mean?
Well,
it has all
thanks,
the
man.
elements of you guys that like made me like. I mean, Anthology was everything. Like that was my CD. Like I killed it. Dryden's voice, man, like, I don't know, everything.
Well,
The
that's
lyrics,
a common
the videos,
thread.
It's just, you know what I mean?
Dryden's voice is like what really makes shit Ant Farm, you know? I mean... Maybe a little my riffage or the way I play guitar like kind of ties it all in.
Everything was so sick, man. You guys, all the elements were so sick, dude.
That's cool, man. Thanks, because what we, you know, we went through a whole phase of co-writes for that record, you know? It was our first time doing co-writes, and we got really outside of our box. And when you do that, you kind of are left to, like, wonder what everyone's gonna think when they hear that shit. You're like, hey man, I love this. This is a great song, and this is something I've never done before. And I really am proud of this and excited, but I'm also kind of like very leery of what the fans, like the core fans, are gonna think of that shit. You know what I mean? Stuff like whatever, like Burning or like American Pie. They're just good, solid songs. And a lot of the songs, like, you know, from the Let 'Em Knows to whatever, like we, you know, like Our Time or whatever, we wrote with like kind of more like urban dudes. Like we were digging that. Like we'd write with rock dudes, and we'd be like, it's you know, it's just kind of like what we expected. It's what we expected to come up with. And then we'd write with these urban dudes that like had no idea how to write with a rock band, and we have no idea how to write with the urban dudes, so we like need each other. And we come out with this like kind of crazy like swaggy shit, like for lack of a better hip hop term.
Glad you just said swaggy.
Swaggy shit. It's on.
But like, Let 'Em Know, you know, it's like full, just like, you know, like it's got like spit to it. It's like a streetwalker or something, you know. It's like a boast. It's like a Beastie Boys boast or something,
it's
you know.
like got the edge for sure.
Yeah, and the lyrics are like got that like kind of Beastie Boys style. What you want, boast.
Definitely.
I love that.
I guess there's sound checking, and it's getting a little crazy out there. I wanted to go over just a couple questions we had that come in for you guys. It's just like a couple here, and if you could answer them for these people, it'd be awesome. Baby Diaper Service, their Twitter name.
I like it.
What shows do you guys watch while you're on the road?
Oh my God, I am obsessed with Archer right now.
Yes. Yes. Are you
it's
caught up
funny,
fully,
like-
man? Or are you
What's
caught
that?
up fully on it? Or
No, so
Good.
don't spoil
Take your-
anything.
oh, dude, take your
well, I'm
time. Enjoy
jumping
my- yeah.
around, which is not good, but I kind of have to, like, I hunt for, like, pirate sites or whatever that I can watch, like, other, because only, like, Netflix only has this many episodes.
Give us your best ones, your best pirating sites.
Oh, man, they always change. Right now I'm on,
Always changing. That's why we can
Yeah.
do fresh
Come on,
ones.
come on.
I was on Movie 2K forever.
Okay, I heard of that.
For like theater shit.
Yeah.
But then for series, like I just found one called Popcorn and Coke, and that one's pretty good. That one's got
Never heard
well,
of that.
like I said, I'm really like obsessed with Archer right now, so I'm only looking for that. But
Yeah.
I found it there, and luckily I'm like, it's funny like all these like when you're looking for sites and like they all have the
Project
app
Free TV.
the app virus that pops up on your iPad.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Like when you're searching and there's the app just keeps it keeps sending you to the app store or whatever. It's crazy.
Check out Project Free TV. Just type that in Google. You'll be listed with so many amazing TV
All
shows
right,
up to date.
cool.
Just a
Thank you
little
for the
me to
tip. I like
Trade
that.
in some websites.
So
Yeah, just straight in
Arch-
websites, you know.
I'd
So
say
Archer's
like I've
killing
been
it.
obsessed with Archer. And I feel like I'm backtracking. I always am. Everyone has been watching that for years around me, but we have like our mainstays too. Like you know what we've been doing is like in truck stops across the country, they always have those bargain DVD bins, like,
yeah.
and you can find
Shit
like some
movies.
crazy shit.
Yeah,
You can
just
find like some cool shit.
yeah.
Though. Like I found like Caddyshack for $4.
There you go. Exactly.
We watch MacGruber a lot. And we watch another movie called Gentlemen Broncos a lot, which
Yes,
is
of course. That was with the dude from the
Flight of the Conchords, dude.
yeah, man.
And like
Sam Rockwell was
Sam
in that.
Rockwell
Yeah,
is
dude.
amazing
That's
in
an
it.
amazing film. Hell yeah.
and it's what's his name? Elliot Hess, right? Is that his name from Napoleon Dynamite and shit? Nacho Libre.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is it?
It's Elliot Hess,
yeah,
right?
I think that's Elliot Hess.
Yeah.
Jared Hess.
Jared Hess, thank you.
Jared Hess.
Sorry.
Thank you. Will was there. He got
Yeah,
it.
thank you on that. Yeah, Jared Hess is like, he's amazing. Like, we just sit and just fucking crack up with that shit. That and WrestleMania 3. We found WrestleMania 3, like where Hulkster takes on Andre, all that shit.
Oh, man,
That has
just going
been
back
a
to that.
mainstay. That's
Yeah.
been a staple on the whole tour.
True Ant for Life. Ant is in all caps, I swear to you. It is. True Ant for Life,
Yeah.
number 4.
We're witty
What are
like
some
that.
of the bands you guys rock out to when you're driving around, man? What do you guys put on?
You know, it's funny. None of us have listened to music collectively in a while. There'll be some stuff like we'll all try and like push what we're into on each other to various degrees of reaction. You know what I mean?
sure.
But I you know, it's funny, we're kind of at one of those spots where I don't think there's much that we listen to all collectively right now.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all got
your
earbuds
own
in,
stuff. Yeah,
and we're
you're
all
doing your
listening
own
to our
thing.
own shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, if I noticed Mike was listening to a lot of D'Angelo, the new D'Angelo shit lately.
Yeah.
I've been listening to shit like the new Death from Above record and
Oh, yeah, man. The
Royal
Deftones
Blood.
and Incubus
For some
right
reason,
now.
that's
Yeah,
that.
man.
What a hell of a tour! I was
Dude,
like, I
so
could just see
insane.
Death from Above and bail.
Yeah.
I've seen the other bands plenty. You know?
Yeah, but you could just see them on that and be like, all right, I'm out.
Oh, and you know they're gonna come out just slaying because they're on a huge tour. And
Yeah.
like, oh wow, that's so exciting. And then, aside from that, I listen to a lot of old punk and old thrash metal from my youth.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
I'm at that point in my life where
The
I like
mainstays.
need that little
Yeah,
reminiscing.
Of course, man,
you
that
know?
nostalgia.
Lots of Forbidden. But then there's newer bands I like on the punk rock side of things, like Off and like Cerebral Ballsy. And
Oh,
like,
nice, man. Hell yeah.
there's some cooler like newer punk bands coming out, which is surprising because
Very true.
I barely made it through the whole third generation fucking sponsored by Target Powerade shit. You know?
Yeah. The last
That
one
wasn't just
here-
really punk.
The last one here took me a little bit, but I think we'll see. Maybe we can get an answer. It's from Rihanna Sucks, and I think I left some money in your guys' trailer. This was just recently, maybe New York. It wasn't much, just like $16, maybe 17. If I email you my address, can you just mail me my money? I had fun and appreciated the In-N-Out burger, which makes no sense. It's New York.
In-N-Out
It's a
burger.
perfect end to a pretty alright day. Do you remember this incident, sir?
Oh, of course.
Oh, of course. That's what I thought. It was really clear. Could you Do you guys gonna send her money?
I was like, hey, there's $14 right there. Let's close the trailer.
Let's go.
Lock it up. Let's roll. No, that's kind of wacky. But I mean, if
I feel bad for her. But
I wish, did she take any pictures or like document it? I wish. I don't even know how to like.
She didn't say anything else to me. Just a lot of anger and confusion. So I just wanted to see if I could help her out a little bit.
But you would be overwhelmed.
And
with the amount of submissions we got.
We got a lot of submissions.
This was just the other day. That wasn't it. We were in Amityville. I think was the closest we got to the city.
That was the actual date. Dude, you want to?
In closing, I just want to see what is next for Alien Farm.
Yeah, what's going on after this, man?
Well,
how long is this tour right now, and what's next?
Is Alien here to stay, or are you just playing it by ear right now?
No. This was such a gamut to run. Like, we got tortured. We like released this record straight from hell, and it was pretty gnarly, like, few years. And I don't think any of us are ready to just throw the towel in, especially coming out here and playing and seeing all the smiley faces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's like the shows have been doing great, and like there's a lot of people that like just want to, like the 10-year club people, like that have been with us since Anthology, like they all like whatever, like fell in love to Attitude or like went to college to Anthology or whatever, and a lot of those people are turning out. A lot of kids are turning out, which is crazy.
Yeah, right.
I'm crazy. That was kind of Ron Burgundy. But like kids are turning out, and the shows have been good, and we're still playing tight as motherfuckers. We do our best to slay every night, despite our ages and ailments or whatever. And the other thing is like after this catastrophe of like trying to get a record out for so many years, we actually went into this record with like almost 50 songs, which is like, I mean, all our previous records we went into with like 12 or 13, 14, maybe 15 at the max. But like we went into this with like at least 50 demos. So we have like almost a whole nother record written.
Exactly.
So like after this huge like clusterfuck, we're kind of like excited to like maybe get on to the next record.
There you go. That's what I wanted to hear.
We got all this new material. We got all this material that's just hanging out, and I'm sure we're gonna write a ton more.
Awesome.
So I don't see it wrapping up anytime soon.
That's awesome, dude. Thanks so much for being here.
Of course, guys. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Salute.
I'm gonna take this other one over here.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'll do a little sippy.
You down? Oh no, dude, please.
Salute, guys.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We'll be doing a lot more of these video series, so check us out next time. Thanks to Alien Amp Farm.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Thanks for being nice, man. Appreciate it. So happy. Looks good.